This is the introduction to my new book, Emotional Vampires. She was a 10 out of 10 by most people who met her. Charming, charismatic, and effortlessly engaging were her best attributes. The kind of person who lit up a room just by walking in it. How could it be that such a stunning, captivating woman remained unmarried? Well, you're going to see why soon. Most Friday nights, she joined our family for dinner, and we generally enjoyed her presence. But over time, a subtle truth began to reveal itself. Not all at once, but slowly, like a final drip of a pour-over coffee from freshly ground beans. At first, it was warm and welcome, but eventually those drips began to feel more like murky water seeping from a rusted, long-abandoned water heater. When that starts to happen, what once felt like a gift ends up becoming a burden. She was draining my family of emotional energy. This is when the term emotional vampires started to make in our family's vernacular. Never in a million years did we suspect that beneath her charm lurked something far more insidious. At best, she was intensely self-absorbed, at worst, a full-blown narcissist. But she wasn't a social media influencer chasing likes or a politician craving the spotlight. Typical arenas for those who thrive on attention. And instead, she made our home her stage, quietly becoming the center of our lives. I'm telling you right now, you don't see these things happening, and when you're in the middle of it, it's only after time that starts to really creep in. It's like being in an unhealthy relationship. You don't recognize just how toxic it is until after the breakup. Only then do you feel the immense relief as if a massive weight has been lifted off your back. That's when you realize how much the heavy burden had been weighing you down. The same is true for emotional vampires. They sap your energy, but it's often only when they're no longer in your life that you fully grasp how unhealthy the dynamic was. We all encounter emotional vampires in our lives. Some are unavoidable, like certain family members. I can't be the only one. And some may be our friends, like most of us, while others enter our lives due to circumstances. The purpose of this book is to empower you to protect your happiness. You are in control of who you allow into your life and who you need to stay away from. Knowing which ones drain you of your emotional energy will allow you to be more in control of your emotional well-being. For the people that have to be in your life, learning how to establish boundaries will help you to manage these difficult relationships. By becoming more intentional and strategic with who you spend your time with, you can safeguard your happiness. We will begin by categorizing emotional vampires into various groups, acknowledging that someone can belong to multiple categories. Once we identify the category or categories they fall into, the next step is to assess their role in our lives. If there is no meaningful reason for their presence, we should consider whether we might be better off without them. However, if their presence is essential, like your parents, siblings, a client, or even a large donor, we must explore ways to make the relationship healthy. Ultimately, the goal of this book is to help us identify and cherish the keepers in our lives. Those who bring us ease, positivity, and a sense of peace rather than stress, conflict, or drain us of our emotional energy. Will reading this book guarantee, or having me read it to you, guarantee that you'll be able to navigate all your difficult relationships? Not necessarily. There are no guarantees. However, it will provide you with greater clarity about the people in your life, helping you to better understand their behavior and how it affects you. This awareness will empower you to approach these relationships with more understanding and know which ones you can safely dedicate your time to. My wife used to spend countless hours on the phone with this particular woman who was draining her emotional energy. When I expressed my concern about how much she was dedicating, she said it was a good deed to support someone going through emotional turmoil. She may have been right. Helping others is admirable, but when someone's turmoil drags on for years without them making any effort to change, it's worth questioning whether continuing to help is truly beneficial, especially for those spending the precious time to help them. People aren't like dishwashers. You can't just call a repairman to replace a heating element and expect them to function properly again. Emotional issues can often take years of therapy to come to terms with them and heal. The challenge here is that my wife isn't a therapist, and when someone needs a lot more energy than you are willing to give, it can strain other relationships. Recognizing when someone is draining your energy is crucial. It's not always healthy or even helpful to continue pouring yourself into someone who requires more support than you're willing or able to give. Learning to set boundaries can help ensure that your efforts to support others don't come at the expense of your own well-being or of the health of your other relationships. My ultimate goal for this book is for you to help you build a life filled with healthy relationships, the kind where you where your circle of friends and relatives are the ones that bring you joy. At the same time, you'll learn how to manage the ones who drain your energy without letting them destroy your inner serenity. When more of us learn how to do that, the world will be much happier, and so will you. This is the intro to my book, Emotional Vampires.